Hey everybody, I was gonna do a little behind the scenes sort of video for the Scratch 21 Enough video that I animated for. So I guess I'll kind of go in like chronological order and start with like the sketches and then do show off the animation and then the editing. So here's not the first sketch, but kind of like the final first sketch or the first final sketch. So this is the first sketch I actually did, and that was back in November of 2021, and that's because um uh yeah, so I contacted Matt because he had posted stuff, or Scratch 21 posted stuff about like wanting animators for the video, and I applied, and then he like messaged me and whatever. So like over Thanksgiving, I didn't have my tablet because I was like away with family. So I drew this on like my phone, and I feel like this was like the first thing that I did. And I was like, oh, I like the purples and the red little gradient. So that was like the first sketch that I ever did for it. And then this was kind of an earlier-ish one where I was kind of like, oh, what if we have like kind of more depth in the characters? Like, you know, you have kind of more like this character's further up and that character's farther away. But that didn't happen. We kind of kept it flat, like this. This is kind of a bit more flat. And here are some other doodles. I think I did these during work, either on a break or like when I wasn't doing anything. I liked how this one turned out, but we didn't end up going with this because this looked more like an outside concert. I did like the idea of having like a silhouette of other, like just like a silhouettes of like other little animal characters kind of like waving in the background, but we didn't go with that either. And another idea was like, what if it was outside? Flowers, but I don't think I even showed this to Matt, but we didn't do that either, or I guess I didn't do that either. And here was I think this is also a sketch on my phone where I was just messing with colors during work because I was bored, and it's really messy and quick because it was on my phone. My phone isn't that big, but yeah, this is a sketch. Pretty much everything. I think I had this, and then I imported this when I was editing. But kind of having like that nice like red to blue with purple gradient. So yeah, that's pretty much it for like the sketches. So now I guess I'll show like the animation stuff. Okay, so I did all the animation in Toon Boom Harmony Advanced. And the reason I used Toon Boom versus like OpenToonz, because I have used OpenToonz quite a bit, is I trust Toon Boom to handle large files like way better. Like, and all like I made 4 separate files for each character, and they all have, you know, a little bit over 6,000 frames, and I would not trust OpenToonz with that much. But honestly, Toon Boom, I gotta give it to Toon Boom because I think they only crashed like once, and my work was saved. So like, honestly, and I was worried because I was backing up my files like every, I don't know, maybe like month or so. But yeah, the files never, like Toon Boom never really crashed. But I did keep things simple because, like I said, I only used like freaking, you know, one character, and there wasn't that much per character, or one character per file. So as you can see, this is like the simple, and like, you know, I really only had like, what is it, 2 bones. But yeah, this is how I animated it. It was just like, oh, stretch the bones. If you know Toon Boom, this is like very, very simple. I did not do anything crazy. But for me, I didn't actually have that much experience doing puppet animation, so it wasn't too bad. But you can see I did do a lot of frame by frame, like the arm is frame by frame. All the mouse I animated by hand. I did not really repeat mouse unless it was like the chorus that got repeated. I, you know, copy and pasted those whatever frames, but all the eyes are unique because I didn't want to bother with clipping layers or anything. So if you go library, I have like a ton of different eye shapes that I just, you know, drew. And then the mouth, that's where the real magic happens, is that the mouth, look, I drew 1001, oh, just barely over 1,000 different mouth shapes. So if you look on this mouth layer, like all of these are, you know, frame by frame. I think it looks nicer that way. What else is there to say? So Matt was the first rig that I made, and if you really look, you'll notice that he doesn't have an ear like separate as his layer. His whole head is just his head. That's different because all the other characters that I'll show in just a second, they have ears. Also, one annoying thing was that I have this wire. I can find it real quick. Yeah, so this wire. So as he's moving, I couldn't figure out a good way to do it, so I just like did it all by hand, and I made this wire stay connected to the freaking cord right there. I'm sure there was a better way to do it, but I couldn't figure it out, so I just did it all by hand. You'll notice like these frames right here for this wire, it's literally just there to make it sort of stuck. Sort of stuck to the coil so it looks more like a wire. But okay, let me go to the next one. And here is Ed. I think Ed was the second rig I built and started to animate. I could be wrong, it might have been Cooper. I can't remember. I could have looked it up beforehand, but I'm too lazy. Give me a break. So yeah, they're all pretty much the same. I just have like, you know, 2 bones or whatever. And you know, you can make them go whoosh whoosh and oh, that's disgusting looking, but yeah, they're all kind of the same. The way they're built. But as I said, so everyone except for Matt, because Matt was the first one I did, they all have little ears. And look, I can move their ears. And I felt like Cooper was kind of the best in terms of like his ears swooshing. But you know, like as his head moves, his ears kind of go whoosh with them. And I mean, he's the same. There's a little less eye shapes just because he's kind of like, you know, a secondary character. And he does a little bit of backup singing, but it's not, you know, not quite as much. Not 1,001 mouth shapes, John. But here's a fun fact. Apparently, I did not get the memo that Ed is on guitar, and I thought he was on bass. So I originally drew him. Oh, I think I might have deleted the guitar layer, but I originally drew him with like the bass hands. But then Matt was like, "Oh no, you switched them." And I was like, "Oh no!" But it wasn't that big of a deal because I literally just like copied the arm frame, copied the guitar frame, copied the, you know, like this hand frame. And just like copy and paste them into Cooper's file, and then I just, you know, copy and pasted Cooper's arms and guitar into Ed's, and it honestly wasn't that hard to like edit it. So thank you, Toon Boom, for really not being too hard. And I liked how yeah, I liked how Ed's solo came out, because this is where Ed does his solo at frame around 3,900. That was like the one thing I remembered. But his solo kind of looked. I liked how it ended up looking. You'll see. Oh yeah, look, there's his pretty little whoosh on the ears right there. I like how those turned out. Even though it's something super simple, I think it still looks really nice. But yeah. Originally, I was gonna have all of their eyes be closed, like this, while Ed was doing his solo. But then Matt said he wanted them to be like a little open, and I think that gives a little more emotion having them a bit more open. But I don't know. I guess it's just different. Kind of what you're going for instead of what like you think it might be. There's not too much crazy stuff. This is the final chord when he goes for 2. Yeah, I like that he like lifts his hand up real bit, and there's like that little kind of a smear frame, but not quite. Sort of a smear frame. Oh, my storage is running out. You're right. Okay, let me go to Cooper's file now. And here is Cooper's file. So like, yeah, as I said, let's see if I can find it. His arm. You can see his old arm. I never bothered deleting them from the original, but yeah, otherwise, I think I may have deleted the guitar though. But yeah, otherwise, Cooper's isn't, you know, too different from like Ed's. He does have ears, unlike Matt, so you can make his ears go whoosh 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 whoosh. What else? He's got more mouth because he sings, so he's got, you know, like 300 mouth shapes, but he doesn't sing as much as Matt. Sings like a third as much as Matt. I wonder if there's anything else I can say that's kind of different from like Ed's. It's blinking. Where's the final note? I can't remember. I can go to hand. Oh, yeah, you can see these. Okay. One thing I can't forget this. These little colors right here, like you can mark, you know, like red for keyframes or purple or blue or whatever. That was a total lifesaver, and I know most animation programs have something like that, where you can mark your frames with like a color or something. But honestly, for this kind of stuff, it saved my life, man, because it just made it so much easier looking at your frame when you have big files. Because I'm only used to like short things, right? I don't do a lot of like, you know, 4 minutes long sort of things. So having these just help it kind of look like, as I can remember, like, oh, this blank starts on a blue frame and it ends on like a yellow or whatever, right? Like that just makes it a bit easier for me. Or like, oh, this starts on a red and then it goes back to red when it's like wide open, you know. It's just, and plus because it, you know, you change just the frame. So if I wanted this not to be red, oh look, this frame also changed to purple because you know that's the same frame, or blue. Like all these frames changed to blue, whatever, you know. Like that was the lifesaver. I'm glad I remembered to say that. But yeah, otherwise, nothing too different. Can mess around more with the rig and just be a goofball. I don't know why there's some things with Toon Boom. I really do like Toon Boom after using it a lot, but there are some things where I'm like, it seems a bit weird. Why is it like this? Because I feel like I can't find my what's the word? Like bones sometimes unless I click like the rigging tool button and then I go to edit it or something. I don't know. It's weird. But honestly, I will say Toon Boom so much better for big projects like this. So let's go look at Riley now. Okay, so I saved Riley for last because I started animating Riley last, and that was because I was very intimidated by all the drums, because you know, with everyone else, they were all on guitar, right? So that was like one layer for one instrument. But this had like a snare and a bass and a second snare and then cymbals and then these things. So it was a bit like, I don't know, more intimidating. That's why I wanted to save her for last when I started animating. But it really wasn't too bad. Again, stuff like just making like the symbols like whole layer yellow like this. I don't know, for me, because I thought, oh, yellow, that's a symbol. That just made it so much easier, because when you have, like, all these layers, and some of them might be compressed or something, like the bass, it's just a bit easier. And then you'll see, like, okay, so yeah, the bass, the way I animated it, I just, like, you know, kind of stretched it. But it looked right, alright. And then, let's see, I think the snare... Which one is it? Snare 2? I don't know where snare 2 is. It's somewhere. Like I said, what's this? I never labeled it. Wow, it's only bone 4. I never labeled snare. I never labeled a bone, just the just the thing. But yeah, I mean, like for the snare, I just did a simple, like, you know, squishing it like that. But it looks right. Like she hits it, the snare goes down. Pretty simple. I didn't have to draw anything again. But even for her, like, you know, I still had a bunch of different arm movements, as you can see here. Some basic blinking, not too much crazy stuff, but I did it all by hand, because I don't know, I've tried learning clipping masks or whatever in Toon Boom, and my brain is too small for it. But yeah, she also has big bunny ears, so she can, like, do this. They didn't really go this low, though. They didn't go this low, ever. But they could have, if I really wanted them to. Another thing I was thinking, something I didn't do, was I was thinking of making, like, the tails animated. Like, hand drawing the tails, kind of swishing. But I did not do that. And especially for Riley, I didn't even bother making her tail a separate layer, because you could not even see it behind the snare. But also, here's something funny. Riley's actually behind this chair layer, because this chair, what is this called? Legs right here. So this legs layer, it's above Riley, right? But you don't see that the chair, because I wanted as few layers as possible, because, I don't know, this already is way more layers than I'm used to dealing with. So, technically, she's sitting, like, behind the chair. But you don't see it, so it didn't matter. Because look, you never see that. You don't even really see the bottom, or the top half of the chair. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Riley. Wait, I want to show one more thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. I was thinking of maybe making the tail, like, hand-drawn, but I think it looks fine just having it, you know, way back and forth. But look, doesn't that add a little something, just having the tail wiggle like that? Again, on Riley, you wouldn't really see it, but on Cooper, Ed, and Matt, just having their tails go back and forth makes them look more like little, cute little animal people. Alright, and this is where it all got compiled and edited together. This is just DaVinci Resolve. I use it for everything for editing, and it's free, so you really can't beat it. Unlike Toon Boom, which is like freaking 65 bucks a month. Just for not even the premium version. If you want the full version of Toon Boom, it's like freaking 100 bucks or something. It's a bit pricey. So yeah, as you can see, I exported each character as a PNG sequence, and that just made it a little bit easier. So they're transparent, like, you know, don't cover the background. Here's the lighting. Honestly, the lighting is really simple. I can't remember if I animated this in OpenToons or Toon Boom, but it's really simple. I just drew a bunch of diagonal lines, kind of squished it, and then I, you know, had the lighting go like, you know, like how a light works. And even this little, I don't know the word for it, but these little dots of light, they're just dots of light I drew, and then I kind of, you know, animated them along like a peg or whatever that's like way down here. And I rotated it kind of like a clock, just swaying back and forth like that. And it's super simple, and I only did the one animation, and then I just kind of copy and pasted it into DaVinci and like offset it, so that like when these lights are going right, these lights are going left. So it's kind of like this cool little wavy thingy, and I think it looked really nice. And honestly, I loved how, I think I've said this before, how Ed's solo ended up looking, and the way like I did the transition for the lighting was super simple. I just had like this blue blank fill, and I had it set to hue, and then I think this little like gradient, I also had set to like linear dodge, and then I just, you know, fade them in and out, these little blocks of color and gradients of color to make that little like fade. And I think it worked honestly like pretty nice. Like, that's a decent fade, right? Or I guess maybe transition's a better word. What else? Ignore that the logos aren't synced. I don't know. I didn't bother to resync them. Even like the, what do you call this? The lyrics. I color coded them a little bit too, so you'll see the chorus I did in brown just to make it like a little easier for me on my eyes, so I could be like, okay, where's the chorus? And you know that you sing the chorus like 3 times, and it's all over here. What else can I say? Oh, these where is it? So these little string lights, or I don't know if that's the right word, but I even had them like, you know, kind of fade in and out. You'll see, oh, look, yeah, it's all faded out, and then it gets brighter, and it fades back in. And that was just like a tiny detail, but I think I don't know, stuff like that makes stuff a little more enjoyable to watch, I'd say. Oh, you know what? Something I didn't say when I was going over the sketches at the beginning of the video. These little glasses of apple cider, that's what I'm assuming they are. They originally like cans of apple cider, then we went with glasses because it looked classier and better. Another thing, if I can find it, it's at the bottom. So this fusion composition, I tried doing like a little, like, what do you call it, like a smoky, like there's like fog kind of floating around at the bottom, but for some reason when I have it appear, it just like blocks out this video, and it wasn't doing it in the beginning, like months ago when I was editing, but maybe just things got bigger, and DaVinci, it's a free program, so I can't complain too much. It was just like making this bottom layer disappear, and I don't know why. And I feel like you can't even really see it right now for some reason. I don't know why. but there was supposed to be fog here, but it wasn't working. Or no, it wasn't like exporting right. Like it was blocking this, you know, background layer. So I got rid of it, and you know what? I think it looks fine without it. What else can I say? What else can I say? I really like the spotlight. That was just something I came up with at the last second because originally there wasn't really like a guitar solo at this part, this instrumental part. But then it was literally like the last, I think, like month or something that he added like a really nice solo for Ed, and I was just like, oh, that might look nice with a spotlight. And I also like that the microphone was a, you know, front layer, so it kind of like, I don't know, if you squint your eyes, there's like this nice like microphone shape, like dark silhouette against this like way lighter spotlight. I thought it looked nice. Also, something I probably shouldn't have done, or maybe I should have. A lot of the the audio files that I would get, I would just keep just for the sake of having like everything like perfectly synced up, and then I would just like mute them. So I have like a bunch of audio files in here that are really old, or just like singing. Like here's the voice, I think, yeah, the voice for Matt and the voice for Cooper. And of course the final thing is like I kind of made it like a red thing. But that's pretty much it for editing. Okay, so this is nothing to do with anything really, but so, you know, I was subscribing to Toon Boom like monthly because it kind of made more sense to me, because it would be like I would do work for like a couple weeks and then give it back to Matt, and then he would, you know, do work more on like the song or whatever, like finish the second half or whatever. So I would go like a month or two without, you know, really working on anything because I didn't have anything to do up to that point. So I was renting Toon Boom per month instead of like for a full year. So notice this, October 11th at like 3 p.m. Your subscription has expired, right? Right? My subscription expired October 11th. But so this is like an actual live stream I did a day after my subscription expired, right? On October 12th. There you can see me like exiting out of Toon Boom and then opening it up again, which shouldn't be possible because technically my subscription expired the day before. And I'm pretty sure the next 2 days I also closed and opened Toon Boom like a few days after my subscription had expired. So TBH, I don't know what's going on, but I think Matt maybe talked to Toon Boom people to make me not have to pay for the last month or something, or maybe the Illuminati's just real. But I thought that was funny, so I thought I'd throw that in just because, I don't know, I thought it was a little funny. Okay, hope it was educational or fun to watch. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll probably make another YouTube video in like 2 months. Thanks for watching. Bye!